It's Bobby of Knitter's Niche. Welcome to my bonus room. Welcome to my Knitter's Niche. Today is the day that we all been waiting for. It is September 21st, the first day of fall. Autumn has arrived. And oh my goodness, I couldn't wait. You know, I love the summer, love the spring, love to knit those knits, but I also like DK weight yarn, which is a little heavy for summer. But I decided to knit the Ranunculus in a DK weight yarn in a merino wool. And it is so comfortable, so luscious against my skin. You know, it feels like, what do I want to say? It almost feels like a little hug. It's not hot by any means. Our temperature here is in the 70s. I'd say it's probably about 78 right now, and sunny. And this is the northeast corner of Alabama in the United States. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And you know, this is not too warm. I have this on with a cami. And I've had some questions about my cami, so in a little bit, I'm going to tell you where I got them. But I've had quite a few questions about them. But let me stand up and I'll let you take a look at the Ranunculus. Isn't it darling? And this is done with a DK weight yarn. And I'm also going to talk about, again, you know, on previous podcasts I'd mentioned that the designer had actually done short rows in the front. And I got to reading the description of the pattern, and it literally says the short rows in the front create a necklace effect, create this curve. So you really don't even need to wear jewelry if you don't want to with this, because it is that pretty with all the details here, especially this one here. How clever is that? Let's talk about the Ranunculus just a little bit. I know I've talked about this all the time. I know. But it's just one of those patterns. Once you do one, you know, you want to try all the different weight yarns in making it. I haven't done a worsted weight yet, but we'll do a worsted weight maybe in the future. Now, when you look at these pictures, y'all, and I've showed you this before, they have done this on fingering weight with US 10 needles, and I believe that's 6mm needle. And this is what the pictures are. Now, when you look at this, you're going to think, oh my gosh, I don't know about that. Well, if you look at the neck and see how big that is and wide here. Well, when you use a fingering weight yarn and you use US 10/6mm needle with it, and there might even been a lace one in here, probably the middle one is done in a lace possibly, you're going to have a collar that comes, you know, your neckband's going to be clear out here. There's two options. There is one for the wide neckband and one just for, I think, the normal neckband, I think she calls it. But I did the one for the wide, and every one I have done, I've done the one for the wide. And the stitch that they use, the cast on that they use, was unfamiliar to me. Okay, it says for a wider neckline, you're going to use the main needle, which is the US 10/6mm, and you're going to use a double twist loop cast on method. Now, she's got all kinds of links to videos in her patterns, and you just click on that and watch it, and that's what I did here. My last one I did a long tail cast on, and it was okay, but this one's pretty. This one's pretty. See? It just looks delicate, but it's not. It's got some structure to it, and it just lays beautiful against the clavicle here and on back to the round, back around my neck. And it feels so nice. It feels luxurious. So that's the cast on I used. Now the other cast on would be for a smaller neckline is the tubular cast on. And the tubular cast on, she's using some waste yarn and a crochet hook, again with the US 10 needle / 6mm needle with a chained method. Now, I have not looked at the video for that, but I'll look at the video for that because you know what? I have conquered the tubular cast on, which I don't know why I thought it was going to be that hard. I had just posted, just a few days ago, I posted a video, a tutorial for the tubular cast on method for the Weekender Crew by Andrea Mowry. So I'll put a link down below, and I would love for you to take a look at that. It shows you exactly how to do it step by step. I go from the casting on the stitches to the 2 setup rows, and then go straight into the knit 1, purl 1 ribbing. And that's how it's knit from the bottom up, which is no big deal. It truly isn't. It's knit from the bottom up, so you're going to start with the ribbing, and the very first thing you're going to do is do a tubular cast on. And it's not hard. It's a teeny bit fiddly, but I go over all of that in that tutorial. So if y'all take a look at that, it's going to show you exactly how to do it. And if you ever have any questions, message me on Instagram. It's at Knitter's Niche. Message me on there, and absolutely throw a question down below any video of mine, and I will catch it and I will answer any questions that you have on the tubular cast on, or any other questions you might have. Okay, so this is the first DK pattern that I'm going to talk about today, a DK weight. And I'm also going to talk about, in just a little bit, I'm going to talk about some projects, a project that I started just after the last episode that I had put up. And it did not turn out well. And I'll tell you about that. Well, matter of fact, let me tell you about it right now. It is the Andrea Mowry Winter Beach Cardi, and it's no fault of the pattern by any means. I had chosen and used, well, it was this yarn right here. This is the Estelle Eco Tweed worsted. Now, this is what I had used on my Felix cardigan when I used the Noro yarn for the body of it, and then for the sleeves from here on down, the button band and neckband, I had used this yarn, and it is itchy on me. But I thought this would look so nice on that cardigan, and I could wear a long sleeve tank or whatever. So I started with this, and look at the band, look at the ball band. What does it say? I mean, it says worsted right on it, just as plain as day. Just as plain as day. And it calls for a DK. Well, I'd done all the cabling, and I'd done, it's like this much ribbing, and it is a twisted rib. And I had done, you know, all the way around, because it's the bottom up. So I had that completed, and I'm going into all the different cables, and and I made a mistake on the cable. And oh, I thought, shoot. This cable, just the way it's done, I just could not figure out how to drop down and fix it that way. So I'm ripping it back, and I thought, of course, I had it off my needles, every stitch off my needles. It was well over 200 of them. Off my needles, and I hold it out, and I'm not kidding you. It wrapped around me like this. In other words, one end was over here of the ribbing on the bottom, and the other was over here. That means the whole, oh my gosh. And then I got to think of what in the world has caused this. This is what, it was worsted. It wasn't DK, and it does make a difference. You know, some people say, oh, you can use a DK, you know, in place of a worsted, or worsted in place of a DK. Well, evidently, maybe some people have done that with success, but it just, and I had put a lot of time into that and a lot of thought into that. So I have ripped that back. Now, in the meantime, I was on Instagram, and I got to looking and scrolling, and somebody had featured a yarn kit for Andrea Mowry's new The Weekender Crew pullover, and I thought, oh boy, I want to do that because it has a crew neck. I had never done the Weekender, and I know it's very popular, so I know a lot of you have knit that. So I thought, I'm going to knit that. I want to knit that. So in turn, that has caused me to learn to do the tubular cast on, which I talked about just a couple minutes ago. And I have conquered that. I thought I'll just do the long tail cast on for it, but actually the ribbing looked really nice, what I had done, because there's 100. I'm going to do size 2. There's a size 0, a 1, and a 2, and I'm going to do the size 2. So really it's the third size, but it's size 2. There's 121 stitches. So that's the size I'm going to do. So I'm thinking, okay, what yarn do I have? Well, I can't use this one. That's worsted, the one that I had just shown you, although it would have really looked sharp in that. So anyway, I've gotten to looking around, and I'm thinking of possibly using the Berroco Vintage DK. And I actually had bought this, I'd say probably a year ago, and I was going to go ahead and do the weekender at some point with this. Now this is DK, but the actual very first weekender calls for worsted. So anyway, this one, the Weekender Crew, calls for, and I'll put a picture of it in here, calls for DK. And there is, let's see, this is acrylic, 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. And it is very soft. And with that nylon in there, it's really, really going to have a nice structure to it. So I think I'm going to use this one. There are 290 yards. I have 4 of them, so that puts me right where I need to be on yardage. So this was stash. So you know, it's always good to find some yarn in your stash when you're going to cast on a new project. So we're talking DK weight yarn today. So let's go ahead and take a look. And I don't think I've ever talked about this pattern before. So I have it on my iPad here. This was a test knit I had done for Jessica Rose Harrigfeld, Harrigfeld. And this particular pattern is called the Cashmere Cozy Neck Warmer. And I used the Juniper Moon Findley DK in the color Cocoa, and here it is. This yarn is 50% silk and 50% merino wool, and this is done in a half fisherman's rib, and it's a cowl. See, isn't that nice? And the half, it's hard for me to say, half fisherman rib. See, isn't that beautiful? And then it also has, this is the very first time I had ever done a folded over neckline. And it's really easy to do. You just knit it, and she explains everything just perfect in this pattern. But let me put it on for you here so you can take a look. I'm gonna take my glasses off because I'll probably knock them off. Okay, my hair is gonna be a mess, but that's all right. Who cares? Okay, here it is. And I gotta put my glasses back on because you know what? I honestly, without my glasses anymore, everything is a blur. But this is a beautiful cowl. So this actually has an I-cord tie here. Now, a little bit of information about a half fisherman rib. Half fisherman's rib and fisherman's rib and brioche, you will use a much smaller needle than you normally would for a DK yarn. And this one is used, is a US 2 yarn, excuse me, US 2 needle, which is a 2.75 millimeter. And the reason you do that is because you are getting stitches from down below. So you're actually using a little bit more yarn, and when you use more yarn, there's more of a bigger loop that you're going to form. So you need a smaller needle. So yes, you do need a smaller needle with this. And like I said, it's a US 2, 2.75 millimeter needle. And again, this is Juniper Moon Farm Findley DK. It's DK. And it is so, so nice. I just love it so much. So, and I'm going to have some pictures up here of the pattern. I didn't have the paper pattern handy, but I am looking on my iPad, looking in my Ravelry, and it is on my Ravelry page. If any of you want to take a look at that, just go to Ravelry Bobby Knits It at the capital B, and I'll put the link down below so you can just click on it and it will take you right there. All right, we've talked about a couple DK items today. We've talked about the Ranunculus, and you can knit this in any weight yarn. The interesting thing about this, I used this one needle size smaller when I used the fingering weight yarn, but really there's not a whole lot of difference, and this is so comfortable. It's just a sweet, sweet sweater. I love it. I love it so much. So we've talked about the Ranunculus, and we've also talked about the Cashmere Cozy Neck Warmer. And right behind me here, I got a couple of items here. Of course, the Sophie scarf. I've done another one. In this Sophie scarf, I've used 2 fingering weight yarns, and it is 100% merino. And I apologize, I do not know the color name, and I don't know the yarn. They were in my stash. And what a great way to use up your stash. So this is the Sophie scarf. It is just, I just can't get enough of it. This is the small, and I haven't made a medium one. Or excuse me, I take that back. This is the large. Now the large, let's take this, the Cashmere Cozy Neck Warmer. Oops, I better untie it first. Let's take this off. And let's see here. I love this, y'all. You really need to knit this. It's a great way to learn half fisherman's rib stitch. It's really, really nice. It kind of reminds you of a brioche, if you can see there. Isn't it great? And it just feels, it has just a little bit of weight to it, just that nice cozy feeling. Oh, I was going to put it on. I'm sorry. Okay, if you watched me for a while, y'all know this happens with me. I just get excited. I just love all this, and I get real tickled about yarn. I don't know why, I just do. And I kind of can get off track. Okay, this is the large. It's not the small. I said it was the small a minute ago. It's the large, so you can wrap it around twice and tie it here, and it's just so sweet. You know, and I've had some other podcasters, a couple of other ones. Tossi of TaciStudio, she said that she's going to knit a red one. And what a great idea. She's like, oh, just for those days where, you know, maybe with some red lipstick. And she said, wouldn't that be a nice accessory to wear in the winter time when you need a little bit of that color, need a little bit of oomph in your wardrobe. So this is the Sophie scarf. It is the large one, and I knit it just straight to pattern. There's 2 sizes. There's a small and a large. So, and also I have right next to me here, and I've talked about this before. This is the Sophie scarf, or excuse me. This is the Sophie scarf. This is the Sophie shawl. Look at it. Isn't this awesome? Like I said, I've talked about this before. I have it rolled up like a little croissant. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it, or croissant. With my accent, I'm sure it probably doesn't sound correct, but this is just done. This is an acrylic slash wool, 50-50, 50% acrylic and 50% wool. And it is a tweed. I have discussed this before, but I don't know the brand name. I mean, look at this one. See, this is the scarf. This is the scarf. Once you knit one of these, it's like the Ranunculus. Once you knit one, you want to knit another one, and another one, and another one. Now this is going to wrap around me quite a bit. I haven't done the small one. There's a small, and then there's a large. I think they call it small. I don't think they call it medium. I think she calls it a small. Oh, and this, I didn't say who the pattern is by. It's by Petite Knit. And Petite Knit, who doesn't know who the patterns that she's made, that she's designed? That's the scarf. shawl, excuse me. This is the shawl. This is the scarf. Anyway, here we go. We're going to talk about what's behind me here. Okay, here's my segment. Let's take this beautiful, beautiful little scarf off. What's behind you, Bobby? Well, I have talked about this before, but I brought this out because it is the first day of fall. Autumn has arrived. I'm going to talk about one of my very favorite cardigans. Now, this is a test knit that I had done, and it is designed by Tori Yu. Her name is Tori, last name's Yu. It's called the Garter Gan, and I have talked about this before. It has size 7 needle. The US 7 and US 6 needles were used in this, and it is completely garter stitch. That's why it's called the Garter Gan. Instead of a cardigan, Gartergan. Okay, this is it. I'm going to slip this on and let you take a look at this. If you look, let me hold it up here. In the back, see how it angles down. Well, you might not be able to see it till I put it on. Let me pull it out here. See how that angles down in the back? See, it has the faux seam on the side with the slip stitches. You can see that there. And we have some beautiful short rows on the sleeves, as you can see here. All right, this is also knit in a DK weight yarn. Yoo-hoo! That means a quicker knit and a really, really nice fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on and let you take a look here over my ranunculus. Okay, this is it. This is the Garter Gan, and it comes down in the back. There's some short rows back here, and it also has an I-cord edging everywhere here and all the way around. As it dips in the back, the I-cord edging comes onto the back. Here's the short row shaping in the sleeves. Here and here. It all comes together here. This is beautiful. I was very excited to do a test knit for her. It was probably one of my most favorite test knits, I would say, that I have done over the years. Very, very comfortable. Just the fit, the size that I had knit is the size 1. And I think this yarn, if I remember correctly, I did use a US 6, and that is a 4mm. Excuse me, US 6 is a 4mm yarn. I tried to do that in the metric system too for everyone. It seemed like a heavier DK, a thicker DK yarn. This is the Juniper Moon, and that's their DK. And it's definitely thicker, a little thicker than that. So really this size 1, she needed a size 1, so I knit a size 1. I think it came out a little bigger because of that, which I don't have a problem with that at all. It fits me very nice. All right, we've talked about 2 things. So another thing, oh, real quick here. I did mention the Weekender crew, and this is it. See, it has a crew neck now. And it has pockets on the front. It has pockets on the front. And you know what I have written on the back is my tubular cast on mantra. And it is, for the purl stitch, under the pointer finger yarn, then over the thumb yarn. On the knit stitch, you go under the thumb yarn and over the pointer finger yarn. And if y'all want to know what that means, just go and watch my tubular cast on tutorial that I had just posted yesterday, a few days ago. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. Now, I've had questions about my camis that I have. I've had several questions about it. Where did I get them? Someone said those seems just to be the perfect length. Now, this one that I have on now, I had bought this. There's a store called Ross, R-O-S-S, in the United States, and I'm guessing it's probably across the United States. I'm not sure. It's kind of like a TJ Maxx. I had found this one there, and I don't have a tag on it because I think I took the tag off. I don't know if it was bothering me or something, but there's not a tag on it, so I do not have a brand. Now, this one is called the Soteer, S-O-T-E-E-R. And this is the size small. And I generally wear this frequently on the podcast underneath my sweaters, my cardigans. I wear these quite a bit. And that was from Amazon. So I will put a link down below to this cami, and they have several colors. But that was from Amazon. Now this one, I had bought this. I want to say there's a store here. It was called Burke's, B-U-R-K-E. I don't know if there's an S, Burke's. I think there was. But anyway, they have changed their names to Bells, B-E-A-L-L-S. And this brand, I looked this one up and I couldn't find it, and I'm almost positive I bought that here. But this brand is M-E-L-L-O-D-A-Y. I can't find it anywhere, but it's M-E-L-L-O-D-A-Y. And so anyway, I'll just have it printed right down here. So if y'all want to look that up, maybe you'll have more luck than I did finding where you can get it. Okay, this one I had also got. It's a little bit more slinky. This one has a little bit of a satin feel to it. I doubt that it's satin. I doubt that it's, I really do, because, well, hang on. I think I looked at the tag, and it's 95% polyester and 5% spandex. And this one I also had gotten on Amazon, and I'll just look at my past orders, and I'll just put a link down below on the company that makes that, because it doesn't have a company name on there. So those are my camis that I've had questions about. So, alrighty. Well, I've got one little thing that I need to go get, and I've got a special giveaway for you. And it is from another podcaster. And the podcaster, her podcast is called TaciStudio. So I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you an offer that she has given for my viewers, a little gift for my viewers. And we're going to do a little giveaway. So I'll be right back with that. All right, we're going to talk about the giveaway. I have been gifted an item just for my viewers, and we are going to have a giveaway for this, and this is from TaciStudio. And Tossi, what a wonderful knitter, and she has a podcast. It's called TaciStudio. She lives in Oregon, and I've talked about Tossi before. She is just a doll, and she had messaged me and said, I would love to gift you an item for your viewers for a giveaway. So you could probably hear me. I'm clicking it here. And this is called, I actually have her studio pulled up here, her items pulled up here on Etsy. And this is called a knit and crochet toolkit, and this is her toolkit, and it is just the best. And I have been using this as I have been knitting, using one. Well, this is mine that I have been knitting. She gifted me one too. And then what she's going to do is I'm going to put up here all the different colors, and what she'll do is I'm going to have you comment below, and I will do a random comment generator, but it has to have the words toolkit. And I want you to put the word all together, T-O-O-L-K-I-T. And before the toolkit, you're either going to put the colors, because there's all different colors here. There is pink, and there is blue, and there is green. I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. There's blue, red, yellow, and green. This one's considered red. Isn't it nice? Well, let's take a look inside. And let's take a look inside, and it tells you on the lid everything that's included here. A measuring tape, mini crochet hook, which is the Stitch fixer also, stitch markers, a tapestry needle, a needle toppers, 2 sets of needle toppers actually, and more. Well, here's your measuring tape, and these are all color coordinated to the ones that you choose. Now this red, they have a pink. She's got a pink along with it. And this is the tape measure. Has metric and it also has inches. The tape measure that's a nice tape measure. Really nice. And she has stitch markers, and she has the light bulb shaped stitch markers, and these are really pretty. These are a metallic color. That's very pretty. So you get that. You also get these stitch markers. These are so handy. All of them are so handy. You can never have enough of these. And she has some needle stoppers. I call it, or toppers. Stitch stopper, maybe is what I call them. And I tell you what, I have been using these as I've been knitting, and these are little flowers, and there's a little hole on the bottom on each side. There's 2. These stay on your needles. Now I use Chow Goo stainless steel needles, and I have some older, no, my old ones really work, but then the newer stitch stoppers or needle toppers, if that's what you want to call them, they come off. This does not come off. They stay on, even those onto those stainless steel needles. And here she's got some little balls. Another set there. And let's take a look what else is in here. Oh, one of my, like I said, I've been using them. One of my light bulb stitch markers. Better put that back in there. And look at the little container. I'm telling you, she's thought of everything. Just a little container that you put your stitch markers in. And here is the little crochet hook, and the little crochet hook, this is a 4mm size, and this is like a stitch fixer. Like if you have a drop stitch, you can come in, you'll have this handy all right here, and you can come and you can pick it up and put it back onto your needle. Awesome. I mean, this alone is fantastic, because I don't know that these are that easy to find, because it's a little crochet hook. And you also get your tapestry needle, and what a perfect one. It is in a metal, so it's going to glide, and she has it on a little piece of felt there. So this is our giveaway, y'all. So here's what we'll have you do. Again, let me get this back up here. I'm going to have you, whichever color you want, and I'll have all the pictures here, and you decide. I'm going to have some pictures in here for you to see. Either the blue, I'm going to have you write in the comment down below, this is a chance to win one of these in the color of your choice. I want you to put blue or red or yellow or green. You pick which one you want was your favorite. And then right after that, you're going to put TOOLKIT. And I need to have you put TOOLKIT, all in one word. So it's going to be one of these colors, and then your TOOLKIT, okay? And it's going to be done with random comment generator, and what that means, the random comment generator is going, I can choose for a word for it to search for. So you'll need, TOOLKIT is what I'm looking for. So you need to have TOOLKIT in there, all one word, TOOLKIT. If you don't do that, it won't pull your name and put it out there for me to choose from, for it to choose from. I don't choose it. The random comment generator does. Now for the comments, I will be answering comments on here because I have a specific word that I'm looking for, which I won't use in any of the comments because I don't want my name to be thrown in there, which I don't know if it would do that anyway. It might not. It might not. But here is a chance to take a look at Tossi's Knitting Crochet Toolkit. Go on to Etsy. It's TaciStudio. I'll put her name right down here so you can see it on the screen. They're great. I have them in my bag. Actually, I'd love to have another one to keep, probably 2 more to keep in a couple other project bag. Well, I have my whips in there. But thank you so much, Tossi, for thinking about me and thinking about my viewers. This is a great item. I love it. She's got a little, look at her insignia on the back. It's nice. Isn't that nice? And it comes in this beautiful little bag too, little muslin bag. It's got the flower on it. So this stays with me. It stays with me in this little bag, and I have everything I need right there. Thanks so much. You have a great day. Today is Thursday. The weekends, I think it starts tomorrow on Fridays. Get to spend some time with my grandkids today. My granddaughter's got another volleyball game. You know when they say volleyball game, it's more than one game. Generally, it's you play 3 different teams and you play the best 2 out of 3 with each team. So at the least, it's 6 games. At the most, it's 9. So thank y'all so much. I enjoy this. I really, truly do. And I appreciate all of you. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost a thing. I know just the word subscribe from like my generation, when it's anything subscribe, there's used to always be a price to it, but it's free to subscribe on YouTube. You'll get notifications when I put tutorials up. You'll get notification when I put a new episode up. You'll get a notification if I do a short, which is a very short video. They call them shorts. You'll get a notification of that if you want. And it just lets you know when I've got an episode coming up and got some more content to share with all of you. And I love hearing from you. If you've got a comment, something you're working on, if you have an event coming up or something like that, let me know. As a matter of fact, hang on. Hey, you know what? That's another thing I do. I always say, oh, one more thing. Autumn has arrived, and I know all of us knitters couldn't be happier. We couldn't be happier. We love it when we get to get the heavier weight yarns going. It is really wonderful time to knit. The weather is cooler. It's a great time to get the needles out. Great time to have some yarn laying across your lap. Real quick here behind me, I've got my mom that I have purchased, and right up here it says fall. Isn't that great? And also on here, Knitter's Niche Fall 2023. It's here, everybody. I've got some shawls here representing the colors of fall. Anyway, thank you. I will go on and on. You know I will. You know I will. Thank y'all for watching. I've enjoyed this so much. Be sure to check out the tubular cast on tutorial that I had just posted a couple days ago. It is much easier than you think it is. It is doable, but the main thing is do it with a straight needle. If you do it with a cable needle, those stitches are gonna, those cast on stitches that you've just done can untwist. So do it on a straight needle. Actually, I'm going to talk about a few comments that I'd gotten on my last podcast. I have my iPad pulled up here reading my comments, and I had mentioned let's see, that was episode, I think it was episode 20, just the last episode I had posted, and that I posted that, well, it's been 3 weeks ago. And this is Lolly Golden 3822. Had a comment on here I wanted to read to all of you. I had mentioned, if anyone has any event going on in their community, to let me know, and I'd be more than happy to talk about it and let everybody know about it. So Lolly Golden 3822 says, "Hi Bobby, really enjoyed your conversation today. I'm ready for fall too, and my sister and I are knitting The Weekender by Andrea Mowry." Now, that's the original Weekender, so I wonder if she's seen the Weekender crew. She said it's a cow. Oh, it's a cow with Caddy Jacks. She did the cow with Caddy Jacks. Oh my gosh, Lolly, I would love to see what you knit. I'm going to look that up. Okay, she said we're having a big event here in the Pacific Northwest. It's the PNW, which means, I would think, Pacific Northwest Fiber Expo in Port Angeles. I haven't heard of that. Well, that doesn't mean anything, because you know what? I've been to the I've been to Washington State before though. Port Angeles, Washington on September 30th and October 1st. So if you are in that area or would love to go over there, I would take a look, because they have over 40 vendors and lots of classes that you can sign up for. And she says, we can't wait to see all the beautiful new yarn, her and her sister. Oh, how much fun. I would love to do that. We'd love to see y'all there. She would love to see y'all there. And I'll tell you what, Lolly, if I could go, I would go, because I tell you, Miss Lolly, I think we would have a blast together. Wouldn't that be fun? And you know, I really want to go to some of these yarn events that are around the country. Right now, I can't get away for any of that. Now, if there are any local ones down south here, let me know about them, and I'll be there. I would be there for sure. I was mentioning that I was going to go to Illinois, and we are leaving October 1st, and we're going to be gone for a few days. And I am going to go up to Elgin, Illinois, and I am going to go to the store, the yarn store, the epic yarn store, Wool and Company. I'm going to go. I don't know exactly what date, so here's what I'm going to do. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me, because I want y'all to be there too. Wouldn't it be grand if we could, any Chicagoans, it's by Chicago, any Chicagoans or any North Illinoisans, or, you know, anybody around that area, if we could all get together one day at Wool and Company, wouldn't that be a blast? My main thing I want to look at is the Sandinus yarn there, and the Knitting for Olive yarn. I really would like to get my hands on some more Sandinus yarn, and I have never used Knitting for Olive yarn. Okay, so that's what my plans are. I'm planning on going. I've already talked to my husband about it. He said, sure, because he's going to have to drive me. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I don't know where I'd end up. I don't drive that much anymore. Not that I can't drive. It's just that we're both retired, so I just jump in the car with him, and he just drives me wherever I want to. Not wherever I want to go, but wherever we're going, he's driving. This has been kind of a little bit of a whirlwind podcast. I really wanted to talk to all of you about DK weight yarn and about knitting this ranunculus in a DK weight, because I have been wanting to do this for a long time, but I wanted the perfect yarn, and it took two, well, just not quite 500 yards, but close to it, of this beautiful wool. And I'll put the information up for the Leading Men Fiber Arts. I'll put their information up, but I do want to go back in their shop, and I generally do when I go back and visit family in Illinois, which is what I'm going to be doing. So there again, follow me on Instagram, y'all, because I'm thinking if you're in the Chicago area and I decide, and my husband decides what's going to work, because we want to see all our family and our friends when we're up there, to work that in, to go to Wool and Company in Elgin, Illinois, which is near Chicago. That, I think if we got together, it would be so much fun, and we can tour the store. They say it is phenomenal. Just a phenomenal store. But I'll put it on Instagram when I'm going to be there and let y'all know. So follow me on Instagram. Be sure to follow me so we can all get together and get to know each other and just have a good, fun yarn day. Okay, well, I am going to let you go. Got Miss Bella. Bella, want to come here? Come here. I don't know if she'll come over here. She's our long-haired dachshund. Okay, everybody. This is Bella. This is Bella Grace. Listen, go out there and knit the day. Have a great first day of fall. The weekend is, well, today's Thursday, so the weekend's just right around the corner here. Bella Grace, are you tired, baby? Bella and I wish you a great day. And thank you all so much for watching and for subscribing and liking and commenting.